All right, so what I tell you guys, I think I said it this morning. I said if they win, we'll have a drink together. Did I not say that? Do you guys not remember that? I'm a man of my word here. First to five. How about this? We'll make this simple. Bourbon or a beer? Bourbon or a beer? Just first to five. Lakers 4-2 now. Lakers over the Grizzlies 117 to 112. Put it in the comments. Bourbon or beer? We'll just add it up. First one to five. I'll go behind me right now, and I'll go grab whatever it is that it is. Lakers go 2-0 on this road trip. Luka Dončić comes back. Phenomenal stuff from Luka Dončić, of course. But really why the Lakers won this game is they actually started playing some defense, which they played no defense in the first half. I think we have an overwhelming amount of bourbon. I think we got an overwhelming – I think bourbon won. Bourbon won. All right, we're going to start the postgame show. I'm going to grab some bourbon. Stay right here. By the way, the studio is not big enough for me to even leave the screen. So let me grab some bourbon. Do a little Woodford. I'm a Woodford guy. I like Woodford. So hopefully you guys can enjoy your drink on this Friday night as well. Have whatever it is. Usually we're having coffee together. Now we'll do a little bourbon together, and then the post game show will start. It's Friday, guys. I'm not working tomorrow. By the way, I don't have like a proper bourbon glass or anything like that, at least in the studio, and I want it neat. So I'm going to go neat. Cheers to everybody here. Thank you for being here. Please subscribe to the channel if you guys don't mind. Here we go. All right, nice little bourbon's good. That's good stuff right there. Get your hair on get some hair on your chest. Lakers over the Grizzlies 117 to 112. All right, we got a lot to break down. I want to spend some time talking about obviously Luka's return. I thought it was actually an interesting dynamic. It's kind of weird. Reaves didn't have a good game at all. We'll spend a little time on that, but that's okay. Not a big deal. Did you win the game or did you lose the game? Lakers won. We'll talk about what Luka did in his return. Some role players that I really, really want to highlight. I really do. Some role players. I'm looking at the box score as we sit here. I thought Jake LaRavia had another really, really nice game for the Lakers. 13 points to follow up his 27-point performance, so we'll spend some time on him. Marcus Smart's got tremendous value for the Lakers, and I think a lot of people out there are noticing it more and more. I mentioned it this morning. I said that, hey, Luka could be coming back, but just, of course, it's not as important, but it's also important. It would have been very important to see if Marcus Smart could come back as well. Smart does make his return for the Lakers, and he came back as well. We'll spend some time on that. You know, it's really interesting. Between the first half and the second half, so the Lakers give up 69 points in the first half. And then in the second half, they give up 43, if I did my math right, but I think I did there. 69 points in the first half. They come out in the third quarter, absolutely locked down. The second quarter, they gave up 42 points. They followed that up by only giving up 22 points in that third quarter. I know Luka's going to get a lot of attention. I know there's going to be a lot of attention that goes to other individual players, but I will just kind of simplify this postgame show for you. If you can't get stops on defense, you're not going to win many games. And the Lakers were able to, get some stops there in the second half. I was trying to listen to both. Amazon Prime had Austin Reaves on with Allie Clifton, and Spectrum had Marcus Smart on with Mike Trudell. So it's kind of trying to listen, see if I could get a little bit from Trudell or a little bit from Marcus Smart, a little bit from Austin Reaves. Reaves did mention that coaching staff was disappointed at the end of the first half, and they all stepped it up from there. JJ Redick's about to talk. Let's hear from JJ Redick, and then we'll start breaking things down after that.
I had to summarize it. We didn't start the game playing hard. Then we did. We built an 8-point lead. And then they went on a 33-11 run, primarily with 5 guys on the court. that just played harder than us. So we challenged them at halftime, and it's like watching two different teams, you know. And we had a good stretch in the first half where I thought we did a lot of the things. You know, we had a really physical green on Jaren Jackson Jr. that resulted in a turnover. Had some good moments for, you know, middle of the first quarter to middle of the second quarter, and then it was like we're like zombies.
The DeAndre obviously didn't come out to start the third quarter. It sounded like he's a little tight with the back. What was
he just had some middle back spasms. He was available in the fourth quarter when he came back out. He had a heat back on, but I just felt like it wasn't worth it given that group, you know, with Jackson and Vando at the 5, we rotating between that and the second half. They were really good and just didn't want to risk it with him.
It's just weird with him sitting back there, but I think Luka tonight became just the second player ever to start the season with 3 straight 40-point games, first since 1962. Just what are you seeing offensively right now with how comfortable he is?
Congrats. That's awesome. Yeah. Who
Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt, I figured. Wilt's got all the records.
7 times and 5 times.
he averaged like 50 that year?
Yeah. No, he just continues to get where he wants to go, and he takes what the defense gives him. And the one thing I think we can be a little bit better at tonight was just, you know, we had a lot of opportunities to create 4-on-3s, and whether it was spacing or timing, we did an okay job, but we didn't do a great job. I thought Jackson, you know, when he did get in the pick and roll, made some really nice plays, some really nice catches in traffic. Got DK a corner 3 in the first half. Jackson overall just to kind of 45 seconds before the half starts, and he, you know, hey Jackson, you're going to start the second half. D is not ready, you know, and then I don't even know what his stats are, but he played great and ended up being a plus 15. He was awesome in the second half, and I think for Luka, like, you know, just his comfort level with what we're doing, with our play calling. You know, there was a couple plays tonight where he wanted something. We got good stuff out of that. So, yeah, it's just he seems very comfortable out there.
Obviously, by his
all right, final one here.
Scoring for the game, he's going to score every quarter, but Luke also leads the league in first quarter scoring. And how has that been a beneficiary to you guys through the 3 games that he's played?
It's been great because when our defense sucks in the first quarter, we have a chance to actually be in the game.
All right, let's keep him moving here. All right, so by the way, I love the honesty from JJ Redick. You know, there really wasn't a lot to be optimistic about by the time the first half was done. It was just bad basketball, didn't play enough defense, and I love that JJ Redick called him out on it. You know, I think that's probably the relationship that JJ Redick started to grow with these players. Like, I'm not going to BS you and tell you everything's good if it ain't good. I'm not going to pretend like the team is playing well and just smile because you're one of the stars on this team. I don't really feel like JJ's got that in him. I think there's a bluntness to him that's beneficial and that players probably respect. So that first half ends. You give up 69 points in the first half. He says whatever he needs to say at halftime, emphasizes the fact that the other team is just playing harder than you. And then the Lakers come out in the third and fourth quarter. They give up 22 points and 21 points. Third quarter, 22, and the fourth quarter, 21 points. A couple of those buckets really came at the end. Weird Memphis Grizzlies team. Somebody put this in the chat, and let me highlight it here. Did something seem odd with Ja Morant, or was it just me? Like, did it almost seem like he was choosing to not be in attack mode? How is Ja Morant, and Jaren Jackson for that matter? I mean, I thought both of them were very, very average tonight. And I'm just not used to seeing that. You know, obviously the Lakers have taken on the Memphis Grizzlies. They played in the play-in tournament before. You know, we've seen a lot of Ja Morant over the years. Am I missing something? Because that dude was doing nothing I don't think I've ever seen a stat line 8 points for Ja Morant, 3 of 14 from the field. Jaren Jackson, what did he end up? 16 and 4. Only took 8 shots. I think it was Brent Barry on the broadcast saying, why don't they throw the ball down to Jaren Jackson? How come he's not getting any looks down low? Just a weird vibe from the Memphis Grizzlies. I know they got a lot of injuries as well, but we'll flip back to the Lakers side. But I saw that comment on Ja Morant. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I have no idea what to tell you on that. All right, let's get into some of the individual players. So we haven't seen Luka in a while. Been a couple of games that he's been out. Lakers still won 2 out of 3 games, so obviously very impressive for the Lakers to win some games without Luka and also not having LeBron and some of these other players. Luka, 44, 12, and 6. I'm going to be a little critical on Luka. I think there were some times, I know that's kind of funny. The guy just dropped 44, 12, and 6, and he did it in an NBA game, and here I am getting ready to be a little critical. He was sloppy tonight, primarily in the first half, and I thought that sloppiness slowly went away in the second half. I don't know how many of his 5 turnovers were in the first half, but it felt like a lot of them were in the first half. Maybe all of them were, maybe 4 was. I don't know. I didn't count by half, but it had a lot of passes that the timing wasn't good, or they were just not smart passes. They did clean it up. You know, one of the things that Luka Dončić has the ability to do is I can get any bucket at any time. I can get a 3 for you. I can get a 2 for, I get to the line. Whatever type of bucket I can get it. He did that tonight. He had that in his arsenal. He shot over 50%. This is odd here. I think the Lakers have had, let me think about this here. Luka has scored 40 plus in 3 games, in the 3 games he's played this year. Am I right on that? Let me try to figure this out. He's played in 3 of the 6. He's had 40 plus in all 3 of the games he's played. AR, I know, has got a 40 piece, a 50 piece. Does he have another 40 as well? Do Lakers have 6 straight games where somebody is dropping over 40 points? The only one I don't know is I don't know if Austin Reaves did it for all 3 games that no, he couldn't have because he had 28 in one of them. That was a 28 and 16. So 5 of the 6 games, they got somebody scoring over 40 points. Let's talk Reaves here for a quick second. All right. I'm going to start going through some of the individual players. When I say Reaves didn't have a good night, what I mean by that, he didn't shoot well and he seemed a little off. You know what Austin Reaves seemed like? Austin Reaves seemed like a guy that was, okay, hey, Luka's back. How do I adjust again? Might take a second for him to figure that out. But that's what I noticed with Austin Reaves tonight. The timing was a little off. The rhythm was a little off. And frankly, you have to kind of expect that when Luka comes back. I mean, the head of the franchise is Luka Dončić. Luka's going to eat first. And even if you have Austin Reaves there, even if you have LeBron there, yeah, get in line. I'm going to eat first. And I don't care what you've been doing over these first 5 games or so. I'm Luka Dončić. I'm the franchise. So Luka comes back and he goes right back into his regular role. He doesn't have to adjust. Austin Reaves has to adjust. It's not a bad thing. You know, I think there is going to be nights where they're both clicking. I think there's going to be nights where maybe Luka doesn't have it going and Austin Reaves can pick it up. I was talking on the show earlier this morning. I was mentioning what will be interesting for the Lakers is to figure out, all right, how do I get the best of these 2 players over a 48-minute span? They don't have to be playing together the entire time. What are the minutes that I have? Some of them are going to Luka. Some of them are going to Austin Reaves. Some of them is them together. But Reaves did look like a player tonight that had to adjust. Luka never has to adjust. I'm Luka Dončić. Give me the damn ball. I do what I do. And Austin Reaves had to adjust and never got into a rhythm is what I would tell you. Now, what I will say, somebody pointed out in the chat, he had a plus 15. So of all the Laker players that were out there, him and Jackson Hayes had the highest plus minus at plus 15. I just wanted to hit real quick on Austin Reaves because this is the first time that they've now playing together. Reaves has had one of the best starts of the season. I don't think Reaves played all that well. And again, I thought most of it was rhythm. I think his rhythm was off. Then you don't have the ball in your hand. So now when you get it, you're getting on the shot clock. There's a couple times Luka would throw it to him late in the shot clock, and you're kind of screwing over Austin Reaves in this situation. He doesn't have much time to make a decision. All right, let me talk about some of the other players here real quick. Jake LaRavia's had 2 really good games for the Lakers. How many steals did LaRavia have? I remember 2 off the top of my head. Maybe got another one. 2 steals for Jake LaRavia. I like his minutes. He looked comfortable. He looked a lot more comfortable in these last couple of games. It looks like he fits out there. Even another player, and I don't think his stat line will point to it, but I thought Dalton Knecht looked comfortable. And being comfortable is a big deal. It's a big deal when you look at some of these players that you're going to be depending on. You want them to look comfortable. I don't want Dalton Knecht to look lost out there. I don't belong out here, or when do I shoot? When do I not? Any of that stuff. But LaRavia's numbers actually, showed some more of his production. 13 points, 5 rebounds, a couple of steals. Jake LaRavia, 2 games in a row. I think there's a lot of Laker fans who maybe a week ago didn't have much to say about Jake LaRavia. I think now they're starting to have a little bit more to say about LaRavia. Let me go down through another player here before they start doing all their interviews here. Marcus Smart is a very, very valuable piece to the Lakers. Very, very valuable piece to the Lakers. He had a couple of possessions, too, where they used Luka as a decoy, and Marcus Smart just got to the basket and just kind of pretty little floaters. 12 points for him, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 steals. The one thing that I would say about Marcus Smart in all these games, by the way, plus 12 in, how many minutes did he play? 35 minutes for Marcus Smart. He was fresh. Obviously hasn't played a couple of games. The one thing I will say about Marcus Smart, and probably the most important thing here, is when he's in a game, you feel his presence. No, Marcus Smart's in the game. I know he is. I don't need to guess whether Marcus Smart is in a game or he's not. I know he's there. Where there might be some other players, hey, Rui's in. Connects in. I'm just naming off players, right? But with Marcus Smart, you obviously know his presence, and you know when he's in the game. The last player that I'll highlight a couple more players, but I think a player that we really got to highlight, and you heard JJ Redick go out of his way to talk about it. DeAndre Ayton didn't play in the second half. We'll try to get more details. I mean, I guess he could have came in, but the crew was already playing good enough in the second half. They decided not to use Ayton. But the good news is they were set. They could have used him, and it was their decision to say, we're going to pump the brakes. We're not going to use him. Jackson Hayes, in 23 minutes of play, tied for the highest plus-minus on the team. 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Don't worry about the points. But 7 rebounds and 5 assists, a steal and a block shot. Really, really nice night for Jackson Hayes. And Hayes, for somebody that was in primarily in the second half, well, your minutes coincided with the best stretch of basketball that the Lakers had all game because of Jackson Hayes. Not because of Jackson Hayes, but Jackson Hayes had a lot to do with that. So, the good news is this. The good news is the more new names that you mention on a night-in, night-out basis, you don't have to have the same role players step up every single night. You just need 3-4 guys that are in the mix that are contributing. And the quantity of names that I can mention in a post-game show and have something positive to say, that's a good thing. Jackson Hayes is not a name that I've really mentioned at all in any of these post-games. I mentioned him tonight, even though Ayton wasn't there for the second half. Okay, maybe tonight I didn't talk about Rui, but I got to talk about Marcus Smart. The last couple of games, we talked about Jake LaRavia. So, number of players that did what they had to do, but really at the end of the day, the way the Lakers got this win, very simply put, they did it because they played some defense. All right, I want everybody to do me a quick favor here, if you guys don't mind. Please subscribe to the channel. We'll keep adding to the channel, keep kind of cranking, keep doing what we're doing. But I ask you guys, if you guys don't mind, please, just a great way to support the channel is by subscribing to the channel. I'm going to read off a couple of these here, and just to give everybody an idea, if you do send a super, obviously if a super comes, it'll 100% get read, but I'm still going to do, what I can to get some of the other ones. Want that 1-2 man. I'm more of a Evander Holyfield guy, If the youngsters don't know Evander Holyfield, go back and go look up some Evander Holyfield. That's more my era. Nick T, Ja betting. Cheers, by the way. whatever you guys are drinking. Hope you're enjoying your beer, your wine. I don't know, whatever it is you're drinking. You tell me what you're drinking. Tell me what it is that you're having. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. They seem Eric. They seem really focused, like the team genuinely believes they can win a championship. You know, we're so early in the season that I have no idea what this team is in a couple of months, but I will tell you, and I've mentioned this a couple of times, and I prefer mentioning it here when I'm doing the post-game show as well. It feels to me that I'm more optimistic than I was before the season started. I think I have a little bit of an idea what the team is now. I like how hard they play. They're not just dependent on offense, which is, you know, the worst thing that you can do. That would, you know, really be frustrating if that's all they cared about was just trying to outscore teams. So I like the foundation of what the team is building on, if that makes sense. I like the direction that the team is going on. And they will only get healthier. And hopefully by being healthier, they're a little bit more dangerous as well. And they'll gel more, have a little bit more chemistry. In the meantime, let's hear from Luka.
Fly out and play and how that went for you.
Yeah, at the beginning, we probably didn't think I was going to play Friday, but after getting, everyday treatment, everyday working, I felt way better. So we decided if we're out here, we see how I feel, and then if I'm good to go, I'll play.
Yeah, obviously from your output, right, didn't look like you were nursing too just with you being able to score 40 again. You mentioned the stat, Wilt Chamberlain, back in the 60s, is the only other player to start like that. Jordan and AD had done it for 2 games, but just what kind of rhythm are you in? How are you feeling like the buckets are coming? And what does that level of efficiency mean for you?
I mean, I feel great, but obviously if we get a win, I feel even better. So that's the whole point, trying to help the team to win. Sometimes it's going to be due by scoring, sometimes other things. So, we just got to see what the defense gives us every game. Every team's going to play differently to us, and just trying to figure out how to win the game.
Luka, while you were hurt, Austin had a 51-point game, 40-point game. You still have LeBron James, the league's all-time leading scorer, yet to play. What do you think the offensive ceiling is for this team? How good can this group be when it comes to scoring the basketball?
It can be way better. The way Austin played when I was out. Obviously today he didn't want to shoot the ball. I don't know why. I told him. But
I like that.
We got LeBron coming back. Obviously, I don't know when, but I feel like we have a lot of improvement left in the offense. But all this is nothing if we're not gonna get stops. Like the first half today, I think we play very bad. No energy, and starts with me. So first of all, we gotta be better on defense to start the half, and then just play like the second half.
A couple for you. The lower left leg injury, when did it happen? And obviously when you came here you had the left calf thing. Is it any associated with that at all?
Yeah, I got hit, just hit, in the lower leg. It happened in the second quarter. We found the hit, so, it's just because of that. And then my fingers, it was like second play of the game, which still hurts, but it's my left hand, so I don't use it that much.
And obviously, we brought up the Wilt stat. It's also, you're the first Laker to average 45 for 3 straight games since Kobe back in 2007. Is there a number, is 40 points per game a sustainable goal for you, number for you?
That's gonna be tough. I don't know. But like I said, sometimes they're gonna double me more. Sometimes I won't be able to score that much. Obviously I had some pretty, I think 3-4 shots that was crazy shot that I felt like doing, but they were terrible shot. So I gotta, like I said before, I gotta work on that. But that's tough. I don't know. Austin's stupid.
All right, we'll keep rolling here. Him and Reaves definitely have a good relationship. You could tell. They got some good. By the way, he had a great point. He said, I don't know why Austin's not shooting the ball. You like to see that too. You like to see that these two do have good chemistry and they do have a good relationship. And, that's the hope. I don't think Austin Reaves is going to be going anywhere anytime soon. So I think with that in mind, obviously you want to have these two just have the relationship that they need to have. And whatever that relationship's off the court, hopefully it's with a lot of success on the court. But Luka, talking a little bit about his numbers and the points and a 40 here and a 40 there. You know what Luka's going to become very, very quickly for Laker fans? He's going to become one of those where he can drop. I mean, just think about this, and it's kind of crazy to say, but you think of guys like LeBron and things like that. Luka had 44, 12, and 6, and we're like, yeah, for sure. So Jackson Hayes had a really good second half. Let's talk about Jackson Hayes. On the season so far in 3 games, I think he's 45 a game, something along those lines. Still not really sure why the Dallas Mavericks decided that they were better off without Luka Dončić. I start a couple comments that I want to look at here for a quick second. By the way, Missy G, thank you for the super. I really appreciate that. Very, very nice of you there. I did start a couple of these here, or star a couple of these. Michael Smart reminds me of 2010 Meta World Peace. I like that. That's not a bad comp at all. I know Meta a little bit bigger as far as height goes, but the build that both of those guys have, the enforcers that both of those players were, or both of those players are, you need guys like Marcus Smart in the playoffs. You need winners, and Marcus Smart's a winner. I don't care what it takes. I'm here to help you win. But I do like that comp. I'm kind of a little bit all over the place on the Rui stuff. Let me read one. Rui doing all the little things that do not show in the scoreboard. And here we have box score watcher, don't watch the game, want to trade Rui, shaking my head. That was one. And then here's the other one. Trade Rui, he is invisible on the court. I don't think Rui's had a bad season. I think Rui is what he is. He's going to try to play within an offense. He's not going to be a high volume shooter. Typically, he's going to, if he takes 10 shots, he might hit 6 or 7 of them. But then he's going to have nights where he just isn't really that involved on offense. And rebounding, let's not talk about it. We all know about Rui's rebounding. I could average more rebounds in the league than Rui. Rui's not going to do much from a rebounding perspective. Here's one liking Jake's energy. Yeah, he's a smart basketball player too. He's got good size for the NBA. Not afraid to take a shot, not afraid to take a 3, not afraid to take a jumper. And he's got good basketball IQ. His instincts are well when it comes to the NBA. It doesn't look like he's thinking much. I've said it before. There are times where I feel like Dalton connects in his head too much. I don't think Jake LaRavia, what I've seen so much or so far, seems like he's just a natural player. Yeah, I play ball. All right, let's get a couple more in here. Thank you. Wicket's on here saying that Ayton had back spasms tonight. It was just reported. All right, well, they're going to need Ayton to certainly get back and hopefully be ready to go for the next game. But, man, Lakers they've had their fair share of injuries so far to start this season. Luka looks bored by making crazy passes for fun for him because the game is too easy for him. The sad part about that comment is I think there's definitely some truth to it. I do. I think there's some truth to it. I think there's a portion of Luka Dončić that's been doing this for so long. He's so elite that there are times where he's like, yeah, let me try to just throw this ball between two guys. And either it's going to be a beautiful highlight that goes viral on all the social platforms, or it's going to be a turnover. Today, he was 5 for 5 on those for turnovers. But again, the turnovers came early, and I felt like he cleaned it up after that. All right. Let's take a look at a couple more of these comments, and then I got a couple other things I want to get into. All right. Somebody's asking about Ayton, back spasms. Ayton's back. I haven't played this hard in years. Rui is never a superstar. He doesn't pay he's not paid superstar money. All right. It just depends. I will tell you this, like this comment, trade Rui would be stupid as hell if you traded him. It just all comes down. Okay, well, Is there a team that's willing to give up really good talent because they want that expiring contract? You just don't know where other teams are. But Rui also feels like he's got a good connection with a lot of these players as well. Sliwa, 10 rebounds, Rui, 3. I'll adjust this for you. Give me 6, just take 1 away from Rui, because 3 rebounds is like a career night for Rui. Guy just doesn't rebound. What the hell do you want the man to do? He just doesn't rebound. He's allergic to the ball. Shout out here to Brad Wallace and the Wallace Firm. Thank you very much for being partners. I want to give you guys a real kind of life example of Brad Wallace, the Wallace Firm, and what he does for his clients. I've known him for about 5 years. He can help anybody in the state of California. Just over a month, probably about 2 months ago now, an auto insurance company made a $1.25 million offer to one of Brad's clients whose case was going to trial in Palm Springs. Brad Wallace, that's not what they do. They don't settle with insurance companies. After Brad Wallace selected the jury and delivered his opening statement, the insurance company decided to pay Brad's full $2 million demand before the first witness was called to the stand. He's got a great reputation in the game. He might not be out there trying to get all the attention in the world, but trust me, people in the industry, they know Brad Wallace and they know the Wallace Firm. We created a URL. If you are a family member or ever in a situation, I hope you're not, wallacewins.com/Sliwa. wallacewins.com/Sliwa, an absolute free consultation. We appreciate your guys' support to our sponsors, and Brad Wallace, very, very loyal, proud partner of this channel and a big Laker fan as well. So thank you very much for his partnership on here, and I greatly appreciate you guys supporting our partners as well. Okay, let's do this here real quick. I'm just going to jump into it before they get another interview to come up. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to look at some scores around the NBA here real quick. And by that time, we'll probably get a chance to hear from a couple more players. My hope is we get to hear a little bit from Jake LaRavia. I'd love to hear from. If Reaves got something to say, that'd be nice to hear what he's got to say as well. Let's take a look here real quick. Nuggets and the Blazers are playing right now, so that's a 2-point game. Clippers and the Pelicans. Let's go, Pels. Love the Pels. Always been a huge Pels fan. They're down 4. They'll probably lose because they're 0-4. Hawks all over the Pacers. Celtics. Some of these teams I don't understand. By the way, no surprise here. Boston started 0-3. They're 3-3 now. They're well coached and they play hard. They know how to play. They know how to play, and they play together and everything else. So the Celtics have won 3 in a row. Get a couple more scores in here. The Bulls 5-0 over the New York Knicks. 5-0 Chicago Bulls. Raptors beat the Cavs. Cavs are now 3-3. That team, I don't get them. Suns over the Jazz 118-96. So there's some scores from around the NBA. Just give everyone an idea. Did we get updates on the other games? Blazers, Denver 107-106. Still going on. All right, I got to stop sharing here, and I'm going to go to the other screen because we do have Austin Reaves that's talking. So I'll share this here real quick, and let's see what Austin's got to say about the Lakers win over the Memphis.
Look good. Look like he didn't miss any time. Yeah, I mean, everybody knows how good he is. If he was trying to beat me, I don't know. Probably not. He's probably a little better than me, but yeah, it was good to see.
Yeah, it was being facetious, obviously, but you did say that, like, while you were, you could clearly handle the weight, you were eager for anyone to come back. Marcus Smart also joins, but just focusing on Luka, that's 3 games, all 40 plus, and it just seems like it's coming very easily. And I know you've seen that before. It probably doesn't surprise you that much, but what have you seen kind of playing next to him, and if there's even a little difference from last season?
No, I mean, I think it's just the pace that he plays with. He's always been able to get to his spots. He honestly has a weird shot where it's hard to contest without fouling. Like, you can get your hand up, but you're not really contesting. But if you try to contest a little more, you foul him. So it's difficult in that sense. And then his ability to pass the ball is obviously very high, so you have to respect that. And obviously he's in a good rhythm, and hopefully he continues to do that.
This game, it seemed clear that you guys let your foot off the gas a little bit in the first half as a team, as Memphis kind of went on that run. What was the adjustment at halftime, and how do you guys get control back in the third quarter?
It was all about playing hard, coming out with some intensity the second quarter. I think JJ said they went on like a 33-10 run or 11. You just can't let that happen.
Crazy,
but, I mean, it's basketball. It's going to happen. Even though if you talk about it over and over again, you're going to have situations like that. But to be able to get into half, look at what we were doing wrong, bounce back shows that we're growing as a team.
Last one for you. JJ hinted that before the game, like in talking to him, you could play almost. Luka says it all.
Tell him what I said.
You too.
Thank you for doing your job today.
You're stupid. That's what I said.
What did you want us to tell him, Luka? Oh, okay. That's not very nice.
Sorry, English is my fourth language. Sorry.
What is going on here? What's happening in this postgame?
You're right. We see the dynamic kind of brotherly, giving each other a hard time. Is that at all similar to you and the way you and Spencer would go at each other?
I think I might not like him as much as I like my brother. There was an age gap from like 7 to like 15 where I could not stand my brother. He would beat me in everything we did, and he never let me off the hook in anything. So I grew up with a little bit of hatred towards him, but I definitely like him more than I like Luka for sure. There's some love for my brother. I don't know if there's love for Luka.
All right, we're going to stop it there. Let me say this, and this is what I said earlier. Some chemistry here, right? The guys are screwing around together. They're effing around together. I mean, that was a shit show interview, but that's also a great interview. It's Luka coming in like, hey, Reaves is talking, I'll just get in there. And Luka had said it, obviously, during his presser that he was asking, like, why isn't Reaves shooting the ball? Shoot the ball. I will tell you this, if he doesn't shoot, Luka's not going to hesitate. That's not going to happen. There'll be no hesitation there. All right, I start a few more comments here, and I do want to look at them. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Hanging out on a Friday night. Tomorrow, guys, no one's working tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow we just kick back and we relax. All right, let's see what we got here. Chemistry. Yep, that's exactly what I was referring to, chemistry. I start a couple of comments. Let me see this. I think there's more to DeAndre not playing in the second half. Yeah, I don't have the answer for you. I don't. I hope not. But that is obviously odd for him to get the green light to come back in. He doesn't come back in. And the excuse was, or maybe it was an excuse, but basically what J.J. Redick said was the group we had in was doing fine. Vandal was playing in there. Jackson Hayes was playing in there. So if I didn't have to force it, I wasn't going to force it. And frankly, the Memphis Grizzlies really didn't take advantage of the lack of size or anything like that. Jaren Jackson only took 8 shots. I already told you guys that, that was the oddest game I've ever seen from Ja Morant. Just nothing that reminds me of the Ja Morant that I was accustomed to watching. And the Ja Morant that I used to watch would attack the basket and attack bigs and was relentless and, almost to a fault. He was getting injured so much. They're like, stop dunking, stop jumping, stop being you. But that was a really odd game to see Ja Morant. Maybe that has something to do with it too, that they didn't have to worry as much about players attacking or a big down low, so they can kind of live without Ayton for a little bit. All right, let's take a look at a couple more live here, and I want to go back to what the Lakers got coming up as well. Your thoughts on JJ kind of fixing the third quarter? Yeah, guys, let me remind just everybody here about JJ Redick real quick. During the regular season last year, I don't think there was a Laker fan that was upset at what J.J. Redick was able to accomplish. 24 different starting lineups, 50 wins last year, a number 3 seed. Then he got outcoached by Chris Finch in the playoffs. But I think if you look at the totality of what happened in the regular season, I do think the roster was flawed in the playoffs, and I think he did not coach well. But just keep both of those things in mind here real quick. JJ Redick's a good coach. I mean, he's shown so far in the NBA, he knows what he's doing. His next challenge is going to be, and this is to answer the question here, I'm not surprised that, he made proper adjustments. He got the team motivated and they came out and were like, all right, let's go to work. And they went to work. They clearly believe in him. I think the one thing that we cannot argue about JJ Redick, it's not like he's lost the players or anything like that. I mean, the team has had success since he's been the head coach of the Lakers, but they didn't have success in the first round of the playoffs, and we're out in 5 games. So I think what this year is going to be for JJ Redick, it's going to be to continue to show that, yeah, I know what I'm doing, and I've learned from my mistakes, or it's not even my mistakes. I just didn't have enough experience. What experience did he have in that postseason run last year? The first playoff game against the Minnesota Timberwolves was his first playoff game he's ever coached. And the 5th one when the Lakers were eliminated was the 5th game that he's ever coached in the playoffs. So to answer your question, I think we got to give praise where praise is due. And I think JJ Redick certainly deserves praise here for the 4-2 start with all the injuries. It feels like the more chaotic it is, the more chaotic it is for JJ Redick with his lineups and injuries and everything else, he's kind of takes his kind of coaching to another level. He doesn't make excuses either. Let's see what we got here. I think JJ will eventually get it. It might take some time, but he'll get it. Okay, so by the way, it's a great comment here. This is a fun season. Yeah, I agree. At least the first couple of weeks, I think we're a week and a half in, something like that. By the time we get to, they got a game Sunday, they got a game Monday. By the time that game is over on Monday, I think we're already 8 games in, so we're a couple of weeks in. But off to a good start. I like what I'm seeing, and trust me, for somebody who's obviously following the Lakers as close as I am and watching all the games and everything else, all you want to see is that the product out there is an entertaining product to watch. Okay, next game coming up for the Lakers is on Sunday. We're not done, by the way. I'm going to see who else they got. I'm hoping we can get either Jake LaRavia or Marcus Smart. Only problem with Marcus Smart is Trudell already got him. All right, we got LaRavia. Let me shut up here for a quick second. Jake LaRavia, this is the man that I want to hear from. Let's see what he's got to say.
Overall energy and effort of the group. Clearly, you guys fixed that in the third quarter. What was the key just to doing that, and how were you able to lock in like that as a team?
Yeah, I mean, as you know, in the past, we've struggled with the third quarters. So in a locker room, we really just talked about coming out and just being a more physical team, setting tone, just being tougher out there so that, calls can go our way, stuff like that. And I think we did just that. We set the tone when we came out in the third quarter, made a good little run, got a good amount of stops, and, ended up coming out with the win.
Double figures for you, and efficiently so. But you watch Luka; he gets over 40 for his 3rd straight time after kind of witnessing what Austin was doing. What has it been like, kind of complimenting those guys, playing off them, and seeing the rhythm that they're both in?
Honestly, sometimes it's hard playing with Luka because he'll do a move that's so crazy, and I want to react while I'm on the court. And I can't because I got to get back on defense. But it's so fun watching them play. They're such talented players, AR and Luka. They lead the team every time we step out there on the court. They offensively, I mean, they're just a force. It's really tough to guard them. And Luka obviously came out here tonight and, played fantastic. He had 44, 11, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. He did everything. Austin obviously doing his thing yet again. But yeah, it's really just a blessing to be able to share the court with those guys.
Does it almost seem like it was an easy?
Lake fans are going to start really liking Jake LaRavia. I mean, production, I think he's got opportunity, but seems like from a mindset perspective too, he's got the right mindset.
It's 27, or now he has 38. Oh, now he has 40. He just scores, and he makes it look so easy that it's just it's natural to him.
All right, good stuff from Jake LaRavia. Jake LaRavia, we spent a lot of his time complimenting the rest of the players. So I think that part is, obviously what you want to see. Look, this is, and I think this is genuine. I like him already. I like Jake, great pickup. LaRavia complements both Luka and AR on the court. I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of Laker fans that start. He's going to have to produce. He's going to have to be good. He's going to have to be efficient. He's going to have to learn how to play, obviously, with these other stars. But I don't think it's going to take much to listen to him, see how he plays the game, and really start liking what he brings to the table. So good stuff there from Jake LaRavia. Okay, let's do a couple things here before we get out of here. Let's do some roll call tonight. You guys let me know where you guys are tuning in from. If you don't know what roll call is, tell me what city you're tuning in. Tell me what state you're tuning in from. Tell me what part of the world that you're tuning in from. That's the beauty with YouTube, and it's also the beauty with a Laker brand. You got Laker fans everywhere. So we'll do some roll call. Tell me where you're tuning in from. As you guys are doing that, and that's all coming up, I'm going to start previewing the next game. The Lakers play 6:30 on Sunday. 6:30 on Sunday, they got the Miami Heat. Now, if I'm right, and I'm going to look at this as we go, by the way, for some of those Pelicans lost 126-124 to the Clippers. I love the Pels. I mean, you guys know my New Orleans connections. Wow, surprisingly here, the Trailblazers beat the Denver Nuggets 109-107. The Blazers 4-2. Thiago Splitter as the head coach there making it happen. That's actually a little surprising. Definitely didn't see that. All right, let me look at where the Miami Heat are so far. So they're 3-2 on the season. Let's see their wins. Let's see their losses. Let's see if they've played anybody good. Lost to Orlando in the first game of the season. They beat Memphis, New York, and Charlotte. They're putting up points. They got a 146 on Grizzlies. They put up 144 on Charlotte. Damn. I think I heard also Norman Powell's playing really well. They lost their last game to the San Antonio Spurs, and their next game coming up is going to be on Sunday against the Lakers. So Miami sitting at 3-2 so far on the season. When they get ready to play the Lakers, Lakers obviously sitting at 4-2. So again, that game is coming up on Sunday. If I look at some of the individual players, interesting. Norman Powell leading the team, 24 points a game. Then Bam Adebayo, 23. Then Andrew Wiggins with 16. So it just kind of shows you what some of their players are doing so far. I know from an injury perspective, Tyler Hero said they had a schedule in recovery, expects to be back. Yeah, he's going to be for a while. Another maybe 4 to 8 weeks, Tyler Hero will be out. So they're obviously going to try to hold on as best as they can until he comes back. But Norman Powell filling in that void. All right, let's take a look here, see where everybody's tuning in from. And I appreciate you guys all being a part of the show and obviously chiming in with where you're tuning in from. I'm going to – we got Marcus Smart. Oh, you guys got to wait. We got Marcus Smart. I'm going to get to Smart, and then I'll find a way to incorporate the roll call.
Fantasticness. Nah, man, it's been great to watch. First game, he does what he does. Then he comes get injured, and then he comes back off of injury and does it again. That just shows who he is. The will he has to go out there and put on the show every night. And he's real good at it. So it's been fun for me to watch.
Do you think it's possible for not just Luka but any player to average 40 in the NBA in this day and age?
Yeah, if you get the opportunity, all you need is opportunity. What people don't understand is it's a lot of great scorers. There's a lot of people that can do a lot of things out here, but they don't have the opportunity as other people. So they get put in a box or they get put in a responsibility or duty that the team only wants them to do, and no matter what they do, they can't break out of it. So unfortunately, you got to play the game within the game. But yeah, there's definitely players in this league, a lot more that can on any given night do what Luka's doing. But to see him do it the way he's doing it consistently, that's incredible.
Do you think that opportunity would manifest here in LA this year for Luka?
For sure. I don't see why not. I mean, he has there's a lot of help on the wings for him, and guys that are coming in, guys that are rolling. So we do a good job of trying to make his job easier, so he can do those things and help this team win.
I would have rather had heard from a visible. Okay, let me read this. A visible knows. Go ask the coaching staff when asked about what went wrong for him tonight. Asked what the team could have done better. He said, according to them, probably don't play me. Apparently alluding to something that had been said in the locker room. Chris Harrington. I told you something was off with Ja Morant. Something was off. I'm going to go back to Marcus Smart here in just a second. But, yeah, Ja Morant, when you have some of the players that were on that team where you have some of the role players that are on there, why is he passing the ball to all these guys that are not 50% of what Ja Morant is? Go ask the coach. Go ask this. I mean, it might get ugly in Memphis here pretty quick. But if you're watching that Laker game tonight, you're saying to yourself, why is Ja Morant passing the ball to all these role players? It would be the equivalent of, take Luka out of the game and Austin Reaves deciding, well, I'm not going to shoot the ball. Yeah, but you're the best primary scorer that we have. You're our best option. Well, I'm not shooting. That was kind of Ja Morant tonight. Very odd to see. And if you're a Memphis Grizzlies fan, which I know there isn't many Memphis Grizzlies tuned into a post-game show like this, but damn, you got to be asking yourself, where the hell is this franchise going if their star player, who's already had his own issues and, obviously off the court and then now on the court, he's butting heads with the coaching staff or whoever it is, but he didn't mix any of his words in that, those quotes that we were reading right there. I'm glad I caught that right before I ended that because I didn't even see that was there, but it's one of the first things we said in the postgame show. I'm like, something was off with Ja Morant. I'm sure all of you guys noticed it as well. One quick thing about Marcus Smart. I wish that post-game show that we just listened or that post-game, those clips were more about Marcus Smart because Marcus Smart brings a lot of value to this team. I've loved watching him play so far as a Laker. The biggest question mark for Ja Morant is he going to be, or for Ja Morant, for Marcus Smart is he going to be healthy? That's the biggest thing. Will he be healthy? And tonight he was healthy, but it took him a couple of games to get back to being healthy. And I'd rather have focused on him than just the Luka stuff. The Luka averaging 40 points, I mean, would it be cool? Sure. But it's, Lakers are trying to win games right now. They're 4-2. Their priority should not be getting Luka to drop 40. Now Luka can just drop 40 because he's that good. Okay, let's do some roll call here. Thank you everybody for being here. By the way, I mentioned it before. I'll mention it again. Please subscribe. Would appreciate that. All right, let me see here. When did you guys start dropping these comments here? I got to go back. Oh, no, I lost my place. Oh, no, that's not good. That's not good. All right, I'll find it here. I'll find it. I'm going to start finding where everybody's tuning in from. If you haven't put in your roll call yet of where you're tuning in from, feel free to do so while I try to buy time. Phoenix in the house. Salt Lake City, Utah, Puerto Rico. Thank you for being here. Louisville. Jersey, Snellville, Georgia, American Fork, Utah, St. Louis, Missouri, Little Italy, Coronado, New Jersey in the house, Seattle, Jersey, someone tuning in from Earth. I appreciate that. New Jersey in the house. I already said New Jersey, South Florida, Texas, Rochester, New York, Tennessee, La Mirada. Look where they're everywhere. Laker fans are literally everywhere. Phoenix, Columbus, Ohio. Pleasant Grove, Utah, Virginia, USSR. Okay. Victor Johnson, Bowie, Maryland. Thank you, brother. Thank you for tuning in. Let's see what we got here. Carmichael, California. Tiago or Billups. Hey, shout out, give Portland credit. That whole situation that's going on. By the way, is it just me or maybe they should pump the brakes a little bit on some of these betting ads? You guys, maybe the timing isn't the best. I saw 197 betting ad commercials in like an hour. Maybe we kind of, maybe we slow down a little bit with everything going on. I don't know. That's just an idea. Just an idea from one person. Oregon, thank you very much for tuning in. Let's see what we got here. Wemby is a problem next week. I can't wait for that game. I'm really, really looking forward to that game. How much fun is that going to be? All right, let's see what else we got here. I think we might have got everybody. Do we just go to an hour? I mean, if we got this far, do we just get to an hour? Got 5 minutes left to go. Do I just leave this on for 5 minutes just so I could say I got to an hour? Philippines, thank you. Arkansas, thank you for being a part of the show. Hawaii, what else you guys want to talk about? Yeah, I mean, like every other ad was another betting one. I'm like, guys, there's a whole betting scandal in the NBA. I don't know. Let's take 2 weeks off. Can we read the room a little bit? They're like, no, we're going to cram even more down your throat. Like, Jesus. And by the way, they have paid all these actors and everything. My God. That's a whole separate conversation. A Adu Thero coming soon. All right, here's what's going on with Adu. From what I was reading a little bit earlier, what did I say this? I think it was yesterday. Yeah, I think it was yesterday. He's going to start working 5-on-5 with South Bay Lakers. So getting closer. I want to see him play. I really, really want to see him play. I'm curious to see him. He's got such great how do I put it? Athleticism. And I think he's going to bring some excitement, that youth. You want youth on these teams. Not that the Lakers are going to depend, crazy amount on him, but I do think that part's interesting. All right, let's see what we got here. We're going 1 hour. I've already decided we're going an hour. So even if I have to talk for 5 minutes about nothing. Was there a game tonight? I didn't even know. Thought the season was done. I didn't know there was a game on tonight. Game 7 tomorrow. That's pretty damn exciting. I mean, it really is. All right, let's see what we got here. I've noticed you're pretty much the only YouTuber who doesn't promote gambling. Noticed that for a while. Well, I'll tell you this. A couple of years ago, I did have betting on here. I did have a betting site on here. It was Underdog that I had on. I haven't since. And it doesn't mean that I haven't had conversations with other companies out there to do some work. But I'm not going to lie. The whole NBA betting thing is that's an interesting development. And I'm talking about, obviously the Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, all that stuff. I think for a lot of people, it's probably churning off people. All right, let's see what else we have here. Now people are asking, Slee, are you rooting for the Dodgers? Slee, please give us your World Series 7 prediction. Guys, I'm from San Diego. So, I mean, I don't even think I have to answer that question. I'm from San Diego. And I've been to Toronto one time in my life. So I have a very close connection with Toronto. I mean, obviously. I've been there one time. It's going to be a good game tomorrow. It's going to be a good game tomorrow. I still don't understand, for those who are watching the game, I was trying to watch both games. And I still don't understand how you get thrown out at second. I still don't understand that. I mean, if you've been to Toronto once, I mean, obviously, I have there close in my heart. I was there for a wedding about 10 years ago. I walk away with an unbelievable connection. Obviously, I know a lot of Dodger fans excited about this series going to Game 7. It's a good game. Really, really good game. So that's awesome. These comments are hilarious. All right, next show coming up. Here's what I got going on. Next show coming up is going to be on Sunday after Lakers. I got a very busy couple of days. Sunday night, Lakers Miami postgame. Monday morning, we're doing the show at 8 a.m. Monday night, Lakers versus Portland. Tuesday, we're doing the show in the morning as well. So, and I'm also going to have, this is just hilarious. You guys are pretty freaking funny. I'm also going to have on Tuesday, I'm going to have Trevor Lane join the show. All right, my people, we got it. We got to an hour. And I was that close. I'm like, let's just get to an hour. Thanks for being a part of the show. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Cheers to everybody here. Lakers 4-2, playing some really good basketball. I think you guys should be proud of what you've seen so far from the Lake Show. I think they're playing good ball, and it's been fun to kind of see their progress here as the regular season has got on, even with all the injuries. And let's see, really now what you want to see is how they eventually get Luka, Austin Reaves, and those rotations. And then you're going to have another, obviously big change coming in a couple of weeks when LeBron comes back. So there's going to be another kind of mix that the Lakers will have to figure out. I will tell you, for me, I'm talking basketball basically 7 days a week. It's good for the show. It's good content. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Whoever you're rooting for, enjoy Game 7 tomorrow. Enjoy college football tomorrow. I'm going to try to catch San Diego State football tomorrow. They're 6-1. That never happens. And then Sunday we'll catch some NFL. And then obviously on Sunday night, we'll react to Lakers in Miami. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday night. Hope you guys have a good weekend.